How can that change? By ensuring these actions that we have proposed in the form of a strategy, and it just so happened that the strategy resulted when it was written down and we were playing around with the letters. It resulted in an anagram of PICKET, and so we decided to call it PICKET, which creates that checkpost, which creates that boundary, which creates that demonstration, that resolve, that will. So P stands for policy and implementation of policy, including prosecution, including prevention. I stands for investments in girls' education, also investing in infrastructure and incentivization for conditional cash transfers. C stands for convergence. One of the key gaps that exists in the world for the elimination of child marriage in particular is that it is seen either from the perspective of health, or the perspective of education, or the perspective of child protection. That convergence of approach, that it is a criminal justice issue as well as a human rights issue, as well as a health issue, as well as a education issue, that convergence of approach at all levels is necessary. Then it is very important not only to involve the girls but also the boys. Knowledge in an entire generation of men who would grow up to be responsible citizens saying no to marrying a girl themselves is also a key. So knowledge with the girl, knowledge with the boy, knowledge with the family, and then with the community that you can and you must stop child marriages. Complain, speak up, act. And together these fractured approaches of health, education, human rights, skill development, criminal justice need to come together to provide that protection at an ecosystem level. T is for technology. When I was talking earlier about investments, only an increase of 0.4% in budgetary allocation in India is enough to educate every single girl. 0.4% is what we need. From 2.3 to 2.7%, if it would increase, it is going to ensure access to education for all girls. Couple that with a national attendance monitoring grid. Use technology. We have today reached the moon. We have today reached every single village in a manner where, the number of smartphones in India is more than the number of people. There is no reason why we cannot monitor the attendance of our children. And attendance monitoring is going to itself solve half the issue. And then have this time-bound approach which shows prioritization and which shows urgency. So this overall strategy of PICKET, with a very focused approach in 257 districts, can reduce child marriage to 60%, which will reduce the entire child marriage in India by 10 percentage points in the next 5 years, which we consider to be the tipping point.